Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jillian, and for those of you who haven't met me before, I'm a spiritual and holistic coach. I'm also an energy worker and a writer. So I'm very aware there'll probably be two groups of people watching me. The people who, like myself, have been on their spiritual journey for quite a while. I first woke up had my first spiritual awakening when I was 32, and there'll also be people who are new to all this stuff, and perhaps lockdown has given you a deeper opportunity to look into things in your life. Perhaps it's highlighted things that you perhaps might want to change, or maybe life's shunted you in a direction of change. I'm aware that there's a lot of people right now who are getting made redundant, waiting to hear if their job is safe. I'm one of those people. I have a part-time job alongside this job, and I was told the other week, I may be getting made redundant, so I'm waiting to hear about that. So there's a lot of uncertainty just now. So I'm just wanting to share some different tools, techniques that have worked for me and are continuing to work for me, because we're all learning on this journey, and that's what life's about, isn't it? It's one big learning experience. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you about is quite a hot topic, quite a controversial subject, which I'm just going to touch briefly on, and that's the subject of masks. Now, with it being a hot topic, I was tuning into my higher guidance and just asking about what to talk about today. And on the subject of masks, what I was told was, it's important that you just share with people how you felt when you put on a mask. So I went into town for, I think it's about the third time I've been into town. I live in Aberdeen in Scotland, and it's about the third time I've been into town since lockdown happened. And of course, the difference now is that it's mandatory in a shop that you wear a mask. And I think that's the same all over the world now. So, I live on my own, and, it was quite nice to just, get out into town and feel part of the world again. So I made a conscious choice to go to a shop to buy a new pair of trainers, because I'm not one of these people that likes to live my life completely online. I know we've been in a situation where we have been doing that over the last few months, but I believe in the balance. And we are sociable creatures. We are meant to be around other humans. I certainly get a lot from, I've got a really good online community, but I love to be in the company of people face to face. So in I walked to the shop, and because I'd chosen, I was well aware I had to wear a mask to go into the shop, and I'd chosen it, I didn't feel any resistance in my body. And I think that's something to mention. If we make a conscious choice to do something, then we don't feel resistance to it, if we're given the choice. So I walked into the shop, and I was getting a new pair of black trainers, and I hadn't been in a department store for months, and I might have taken a little bit of time to browse around normally, but it was just a case for me of in and out, because I was noticing that the mask made it difficult for me to breathe. I was wearing one of these cloth masks, and very quickly, I was also finding I wanted to cough. So it was quite a relief to actually get outside in the fresh air and take a couple of deep breaths. And then I took myself to, an outdoor seating area in one of these cafes. And, we've got a lot of local cafes, and I believe in supporting the local businesses as well, as they're starting to open up again. So I sat in one of these small cafes and just had a coffee, and I love to people watch, and it was just nice to be sociable and feel part of the world. But I think what I've realised, because of the way wearing the mask made me feel and the difficulty I had breathing, I'll just be quite mindful about the situations I am putting myself in where I am going to have to wear a mask. Although saying that, if I do get called back into my part-time job, it's compulsory that I wear a visor. So it's just trying to find that middle ground, isn't it? All for us all right now. And but knowing that we've got a choice. You know, we don't have a choice whether we want to wear a mask or not if we do go into shops, but we've got a choice whether we want to shop online or just, you know, do a little bit of both. You know, the power is in our hands. And so one of the other things I wanted to talk about was just about all the energy shifts going on right now. You know, you're probably well aware of the fact that over the last few months, I know I'm not alone in saying this. You know, I've had periods of real exhaustion and fatigue, and as well as, you know, quite a lot of other physical symptoms going on in my body. And you know, brought about always, you know, the time of the new moons and the full moons and the eclipse energies, you know, that obviously brings everything to the surface right now. All our emotional and our physical discomforts, you know, they're coming up to the surface to be felt fully, to be looked at. You know, perhaps they'll highlight maybe some changes we want to make in our life, and we're integrating all this light that's flooding onto the planet inside our physical bodies. So that can be quite taxing on our bodies sometimes. And when we are feeling exhausted, you know, a couple of days ago, I had a few things I wanted to get done, and I think it's good to have a couple of, especially if you are still in lockdown, it's nice to have a couple of things on your list, but being flexible with the list. You know, my mind was wanting to get things done, but my body was saying something completely different, and I just chose to surrender to that. And just really, you know, I actually went to my bed in the afternoon, and I was just feeling watching the leaves blow through the trees. I've been enjoying a lot of that recently, and just the healing power of nature. But just feeling the energy shifting in my body, you know, feeling energy pulsing in and around my heart area and down my arms and into my hands. So there was lots of healing going on inside my body, and it was because I had stilled myself enough to let it happen. So I think, you know, as I was saying, that's when self-care becomes not just a luxury, it becomes a priority. And it's just finding self-care tools that work for you. You know, if you are feeling a little bit wobbly on days where you're feeling wobbly and uncertain, you know, having these tools in place that work for you. And for me, one of the things that's really been helping me on days where I felt wobbles is the power of scent. You know, I love to sit in meditation and burn incense. You know, I've been burning quite a woody incense recently, and that's really made me feel, you know, I can, as soon as I put it on, I can feel my body just relaxing and my breath deepening. I've also invested recently in one of these diffusers for aromatherapy oils, and I love it. You know, I was sitting in meditation this morning, and I put some ylang ylang oil in it, and ylang ylang aromatherapy oil is known for its uplifting properties. It also helps you to feel calm. And so just getting a lot from the power of scent just now. Another thing I've been doing is having a lot more baths. It's great that I've had the time to do this. You may not have a bath in your home, but if you do, and if you like baths, then that's a great self-care tool. If not, then, you know, having a shower. Because, you know, I put my aromatherapy oil in the bath. I also put Epsom salts in the bath, and water is very cleansing. Being in water, drinking more water right now, anything that we can do to help flush the toxins out in our body that are rising to the surface. And you know, walking near water, especially flowing water, helps you to feel more flowing in your life, and also helps just your energy flow in your body, because our cells are made up of about 60-70% water. So of course water is going to have a very powerful healing and balancing effect on our bodies. Another thing I wanted to talk about, and I got this quote, which is, "What other people think of me is none of my business." And I'm sure you've heard that quote, and particularly if you are a light worker or a way shower watching this, that might be quite relevant to you in your life right now, because we are being called, you know, to speak about, sometimes to find our voices. I'm certainly doing that over this last few months. It's been an invitation for me to find my voice again, and I've been doing it through writing, and I'm starting again with my YouTube channel. And sometimes, we're talking about quite controversial subjects, so it's important to know that, what other people think of me is none of my business. Also, right now, especially on social media, because there is so much division right now, there's so much controversial topics being discussed, and everybody has their own opinion, and that is absolutely perfect for them. It's important that we let everybody look at their lives through their own mirrors and their own perspectives, and we don't need to shame another person for having an opinion. That's not going to get us anywhere. What is important right now, if we want to move forward with this new normal, because the world isn't going to be normal again, or not as we knew it, more than ever, because of all this conflicting information and advice that we're getting from our governments right now. It's more important than ever that we quiet ourselves down and we find ways that take us into our heart, so we can become still in our bodies, and we can quiet our minds, and we can get in touch with our inner guidance, our gut instinct about what feels right for us, and make choices around that. If we are going to bring the world back into some sort of unity, harmony, balance, then we do need to allow everybody to have their own opinions. So I think that's everything that I've got to say right now. I'm going to be back again quite soon. I'm hoping to have quite a few of these wee chats with you. But for now, I hope you have a really good day, and signing off for now, and lots of love.